Hi, my good people. How are you doing today? I hope you're all well. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Purity. I know it has been a while, but here I am again. And today's video, I have a visitor who is going to talk about how to educate our children on matters to do with disability. Please watch till the end and remember to like and subscribe. Thank you.
Hi to our viewers. Thank you so much for creating time once again to be part of this wonderful course and joining our channel, which is one of the best channels when it comes to educative and transformative topics. Today, we are going to talk about addressing issue of disability to our young ones, our children. It's a very important topic, and in modern days right now, we do understand we are coming up with a generation that is extremely inquisitive, very curious, but one of the best generation that wants to be equipped with the best knowledge to know what is happening around them. Now today, we are going to be looking at those issues because we understand our children are a product of observation. Most of the part of the children through which they gain knowledge and to know what is happening through them, they observe our actions, they observe our conduct in their daily lives. So we are going to delve into issues and to know the best way to educate our children. As they grow up, they must understand this issue, disability, so that they can interact with their fellow, the entire community, and understand that as they live, there is an aspect of diversity. They must embrace and be mindful of everyone in their special uniqueness. Our children, as I said, they are very inquisitive, and when we are educating them on issues of disability, we need to be very honest and simple. One of the best things that currently we are aware of is the many platforms that is creating awareness, the available institutions which are helping also us to inject into our children the best values when it comes to addressing this issue. Now I'm going to look at some of the issues and in the best way to talk to our children, to educate them. Because this kind of information, they are going to stick to it and they are going to pass it also to their generations to come. I do understand some of us in our generations, we lacked certain platforms, we lacked certain systems to address the issue of disability. And some of us found ourselves in difficult spots when looking at disability and in our interactions. But currently, as I say, we are going to look at the best ways to educate our children, to prepare them in the best way, so that when they look at this issue in totality, they are a better placed to address themselves in terms of embracing, looking at issues, and living in a society that they can draw a line when it comes to issue of empathy and sympathy. Now, our children, in most of our interactions, they will have those encounters on individuals in these categories. And we have to look at one, the language. When we educate them, we look at the language on how we address people with disability. One of the things we are supposed to tell our children when it comes to usage of the language is to focus on the abilities of the individual, not the identity of the individual, because disability does not define the person. You have to look at the person first and look at their abilities so that you embrace them. You will be mindful of the other person, because we have lived in a society whereby we have made our children to be sympathetic, and we are trying to create a paradigm shift so that we create that space where that we don't feel pity, we don't appear as if we are extending some kind of condolences from a distance to that group of individuals who demonstrate some level of exceptionalities. Because I've looked at this issue and I always avoid using the word disability. I'm still trying to find a way and hoping, because I know even the issue of disability is a contested concept. Many people are trying to find a way to go about this, to make even changes when it comes to the reference to the people involved or people affected, on how to address them so that you don't appear to offend them, you don't appear to degrade them, you don't appear to push them away and make them appear not to be part of us. Because in life we are different, and we are different, we are able differently. Based on our uniqueness, we need to create some level of inclusivity, embrace the worthy and the hidden abilities in each and every one of us. So our children must learn to embrace in terms of appreciating the level of uniqueness, because we have to address one thing. When you look at our children, even if you have 4 of them here, you have to look at them when you're educating them and tell them, you look around, know you are short. The other child is taller than you. The other child is lighter than you. But that one doesn't mean that you are different from the other in any way, in terms of our abilities, in terms of the aspect of us being human. So when it comes to issues of our children, we need to be honest. We need to be simple when talking to them and educating them and informing them. We need to feed them with the right information so that when they are in their own space, they will embrace the other children and other people who are living, who are in this category of persons with disabilities. One thing I have really embraced, and this platform is one of the best platforms I believe, is that when you look at this word, it is made of the 2 words, the prefix DIS, and the other word is the ability. So these people in this category, they are not limited as we used to look at it. People used to look at them as individuals who are not in a position to handle themselves, who cannot participate in certain activities in the society. But we have seen, and making reference even to our children, we have to cite even examples and even talk about individuals we know who have performed and done very well, exceptionally, even better than some of us who always believe that we are normal than them and we are more human than them. They have performed exemplary in the sport arena, in the academia, in the research, in the field of art. So our children, as they grow up, one, they will embrace the aspect of inclusivity, appreciating the other person, being mindful of individuals in this category. And as a society, when we prepare our children to have that kind of view, that kind of approach, during the interactions, we are building a society that is impacting knowledge, and knowledge that will be retained for a very long time, and it will be passed to generations and generations, and the society is going to change. We are going to have a total paradigm shift. The aspect of stigma, because in our yesteryears, children who were having and experiencing some exceptionalities, either physically or even mentally, they were pushed away from the entire society. They were not allowed to interact freely. They were even denied. Basically, these children were limited. They were limited, which was very wrong. But currently, the current generation, which is extremely inquisitive, curious, very energetic, and with the kind of technology we have, the advancement, this is one of the generations that is going to advance this idea that as we live as human beings, we must discover and recognize that amongst ourselves, regardless of our uniqueness in a special way, we can come together as a people, embrace each other, and focus on the abilities, the worthiness within us, other than looking at someone, making judgments that because the way they are not appearing and looking at you, who you believe that you are better than them. We want to demystify a lot of stereotypes on this issue, so that this generation will advance this idea on and on, and we will have a totally different society whereby individuals of exceptionalities, they will not even forget they belong to such a group. Because for a very long time, the issues of stigma, stereotype, being sidelined, being looked as a product of charity, people who cannot contribute, I believe is in the past. And the people whom we're supposed to focus on are our children. And as I said, our children look at us, the way we behave, what we do, and they are a replica of our conduct. So as you look at this issue, and as you listen to this is a very important platform, a wonderful channel, and this channel is not constricted to any locality, not constricted to any region. This is a message that is going to be shared globally, and as our celebrated viewers, we come to you and we appreciate you in a big way, and we say, as you watch, interrogate, consume this kind of piece in this channel, you will share this kind of information to as many people as possible, because this is extremely educative. We are moving away from some of the practices that have limited, and some of us have even limited certain individuals in our lives without knowing. And one of the things also I look at, the moment we fail to educate and inform our children on how to approach this issue, whereby we are supposed to deal with the issue of stigma, the issue of exclusivity, the issue of being sympathetic rather than being empathetic to our wonderful brothers and sisters. When we fail to do that, one thing I always say, when you fail to address these issues in the best way, then I always pose a question: who really is suffering from disability? Some of us, we are facing issues. We even tend not to focus on them, and we focus on the other person because by the use of our sight, we look at them and we say they're disabled because of their physical appearance. But when we fail to address those issues to the young generation, so that as they interact in the social gatherings and the children play around with the other children, share, because children love sharing. Maybe they're playing around with their toys, they share, even food. When we restrict them, we don't educate them on how to interact with people experiencing some levels of exceptionalities in their lives, then we are failing. And I always believe when you fail, there's some kind of disability. So we have to move away from that, appreciate the best values, inject in them good practices when it comes to appreciating, being mindful of the other human beings. And we shall be developing a society that will bring all of us together, appreciate the various abilities that will contribute to the lives of the many lives in a better way. I want to thank you, all of you. As you continue watching this channel, we'll be having several topics touching on several issues, even beyond what we are talking about, but still within that context, to expound on issues that appreciates, embrace, and make many people in the world to be mindful of the feelings and what other people are going through, so that we accommodate and embrace and forge ahead, so that we can build an extremely viable society that each and every one of us feels that they are accommodated, they are valued, they are needed. Thank you so much for being part of us. We appreciate and we urge you continue being part of this team as you view this content. We appreciate and we are looking forward for your views to make our content better, to improve on a few issues, and more importantly, as you watch, subscribe to this YouTube channel, share and like. Thank you so much. We look forward for sharing a lot through this channel.